Greetings! In this edition of Airgoons, I'm going to show you how I start up the Huey. It may come as no surprise, but we're going to start with the electrical system. So up here on your forward overhead panel, you have your main generator. We're going to go ahead and close this big black switch, which will automatically turn it on. This is your battery switch. We're going to go ahead and turn that on. You're going to hear that nice low RPM warning. While I'm up here, I'm going to turn on my inverter switch, which will turn on my instruments. Then we're going to look down here. This is your fuel pump right here, this yellow one. Next to it is your low RPM warning. We're going to go ahead and turn that off because it's annoying. Turn your fuel on, turn your hydraulics on, turn your trim on, and this down here is your throttle. All you have to do to start it up is just take it up past that first indent, so it'll be at idle, but I like to throw it all the way up. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at our gas producer gauge. The default key binding for engine start is home, but I have it bound to my throttle. So I'm going to go ahead and hold down my engine start, and you will see this gas producer dial start to go up. You will also see the exhaust temp also go up, but we don't care about that right now. All we want to do is watch this and see when it gets to 40, we can go ahead and let go of our engine start button. It will go ahead and start up all by itself after that, all the way up to my 100% throttle. So now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and start setting up everything else in here. This right here is your IFF switch. I'm going to turn that to normal. This is a radio. We're going to turn that on. Your VHF radio. Turn that on. Down here is your UHF. Turn that to transmit receive. Turn your FM to transmit receive. And while I'm down here, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my flares, and I also have to increase the flare count dial so that way it works best. These panels over here are for your weapons. We'll get into those later. This is your switch for which radio you want to transmit on. You can switch between 1, 2, 3, 4, intercom, private, all that good stuff. And we don't care about that menu, so we'll get rid of that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to clear this master caution that we have up here. That's always going to be on there when you start it up, right here next to your warning lights. Just flip that up and it's gone. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down right control and hit C for Charlie, and that will close my external door so it gets a little quieter in here. Then we're going to move up to this overhead panel. At the very back is your radar altimeter switch, so that will turn on the power for your radar altimeter, but it's not actually on yet. I'm going to turn on my heater. This right here is for your internal floodlights in case it's dark out. Once you turn the battery on, you can flip this switch to green or white so you can see in here. These are your control lights, your instrument lighting. So if you just want your instruments lit up, you can do that for your pilot, co-pilot, blah, blah, blah. Next thing we are going to do is look at our position lights and our anti-collision. These are all for your external. You can either have them on, bright, dim, flash, taxi, all that stuff. Next, we're going to take a look at our radar altimeter that we just turned on. As you can see, nothing is displayed. You have to set the low and the high knobs. We'll set that to there, and we'll set the high to there. Now you'll see that a 0 is displayed because we are, in fact, on the ground. That means our radar altimeter is working. And the final piece before we take off, since we're not going to load up any weapons or anything, is our compass, whatever, heading indicator. This is your regular ass compass. This will always work, even if your instruments don't, but we're going to adjust this knob down here for our synchronization. We want this to match this, so we want to move this way. Now you're going to see this cross up here starts turning into a circle. You know you're pretty much aligned when you have a half a cross and a half a circle. So my heading indicator is now lined up with what my actual heading is. And that right there is all you have to do to start up the Huey. Thanks for watching.